Hi guys, I've been sitting in front of my camera for ages wondering if I should press play, and I'm just plucking up the courage and just going for it. I wanted to talk about, I don't know if it's just me, I feel like this doesn't get spoken about very much, and I sort of want to break the taboo because surely I'm not the only one feeling like this, right? I'm just gonna go for it. Having a baby brings so much stress on a relationship. It is unbelievable. It is so hard to find time, not just for yourself, each person, but then together. And the day-to-day takes a lot of work, and I don't think I realized this at all, or maybe I took it for granted. I thought it would be easier, I don't know what, but there are moments where we clash heads, and I don't know why. Sometimes I feel embarrassed admitting that, as if there's shame in admitting that my relationship isn't perfect 100% of the time, as if, you know, people are going to judge me and think that therefore that means that I have a bad relationship. But I just wanted to put it out there that we have moments in this family where the clashing of heads is more explosive than fireworks. But seriously, it takes hard work. Not only does it take hard work to keep a relationship going, you know, long term, but then you bring another being into it, and it's just, sometimes it's unbelievably difficult to manage expectations, to continue being yourself, have your, you know, dreams, goals, desires, the day-to-day, you know, managing of laundry, cooking, house cleaning, we have a dog, you know, money, work, finances, etc., etc. And it is just, it's a lot. It is a lot. And I feel like social media, it's so perfect out there on social media, and I want to bring a little bit of realness that I'm getting a bit emotional. My life is not perfect. My life is not perfect. It is imperfectly perfect, because it is perfect in its own way. Each clashing of heads and each little disagreement is an opportunity, you know, for growth and for learning. But it's hard. Those moments are really, really, really hard. And in case you feel those too, I'm here to tell you that I'm right there with you. Life in general. Who knew life was so fucking hard? I feel like it's hard keeping our own selves happy, and then we're meant to somehow keep a baby alive and happy, and then also, you know, help another person, another being, our partner, happy. It's so much stress on one person. It can feel like so much stress on one person, and sometimes it does feel like so much stress on one person, and sometimes I get those feelings, and sometimes George gets those feelings, and I just want to put it out there that I feel he is, you know, the most supportive person for me, and nothing against him at all. My gosh, am I the luckiest girl in the world? But sometimes, you know, we have expectations. I do, he does, and they're not the same, and they meet, and and I just wanted to put it out there that it's okay if sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, you know, we're clashing heads. Sometimes it makes me worry, am I the only one? I feel like no one talks about this, you know, oh, we've had a baby, we're happy, family selfies, etc., etc. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I know that I have my part to play in that as well. I'm not gonna, you know, video myself or us arguing and then post it. Hashtag real life. But so because we don't do that, I just want to put it out there that we have those moments. We definitely have those moments, and they are really, really difficult to navigate. However, I've been trying to do some things, and I want to put them out there in case they might help anyone. The main one, and probably the biggest one, is not beating myself up when I feel like I'm not my best self. That phrase gets overused so much, but for lack of a better phrase, yes. I'm so guilty of looking back and then being like, oh, fuck, Magdalene, why did you say this? Why did you do that? Etc., etc. It's done. Let it go. And that's so much easier said than done. But it is done. So, beating yourself up over it is not going to change anything. If anything, it's going to make you feel worse. I know it makes me feel worse all the time. So, if we can do that, it'll be better for you as a person as it is for me, I have found. And then you can just brush it under the carpet and move on as a unit. Similarly, I'm quite a stubborn person, in case no one knew that about me. George is much better at coming to me after we have little niggles, and I really make sure to always acknowledge that, because we're so self-centered as people, right? We always think, oh, why should I come to you, etc., etc. But the problem is that if we all think that, no one's going to come to each other. Nothing's going to come back together the way it should be. So if the other person has found it in them to come to you, acknowledge it, because, it probably was difficult for them as well. I have found that communicating where I am really helps. So just, perhaps doing a little check-in in the day. Oh, today's been a difficult day. I'm not in the best headspace. So that, for example, when George comes home, he knows that, that's the deal. And vice versa, I, try and encourage him to tell me where he's at, so that when I come in, if I've had a bad day, I don't come in with all my troubles and, oh, I've had this, and maybe he's not in a place that he can take it. Sometimes we're not in a place where we can take other people's shit, and that's okay, but we need to communicate that. No one knows. The other person is not a mind reader. I'm not relationship expert, by the way. just to confirm, George will tell you. But I'm just these are things that I have found really helpful, and that I found help me and help us as a family. And I'm just putting them out there in case it helps someone else. I had a couple more things. Oh yeah, time for yourself, and that is so much easier said than done. Trust me, I know it, but 5-10 minutes a day sometimes can make such a difference, or maybe even getting into a routine. We've got into quite a good routine where once a week George comes home a bit early so that I can go swimming in the evening. Similarly, one evening after work, even though I've had Isla for the whole day, I still have Isla for the evening so that he can go cycling, because granted, I've been with baby all day, but that doesn't mean that his day was any easier at work. He's still working, hopefully he'd rather be home. Who knows though? And lastly, believe in yourself, believe that you can do it, because when we tell ourselves, or even ask ourselves, why can't I do this? Why, is this happening to me? Our brain will actually rationalize and give us answers. So if we can reframe the wording in which we speak to ourselves, we're really building, neural pathways to speak to ourselves in a better manner. And that will really help, so that the brain isn't giving us answers. Why can't I do this? And the brain's like, well, because you're shit, you're not good enough, you're blah, blah, blah. No, not true. I can do this, even on difficult days. Yes, it's hard, but I am doing it. We are doing it, aren't we? Look at us doing it. Yay, us! Yes, I think that was it. Gosh, I rambled for so long. I didn't mean to ramble for so long. It is hard. It's hard, I feel, just taking care of ourselves. It takes work every day, every hour, every minute. And so if you're plowing through the day-to-day slog, well done you, because it's not pretty. It is not pretty. No matter what people have you believe, trust you me, it's not pretty, but it's life, and there's beauty in that, I think, in a certain way. And yeah, I just feel like sometimes, I don't know, I don't know what I feel like. I just wanted to, yeah, speak about that. I don't feel like it gets spoken about enough. There's struggles, the day-to-day, you know, struggles, like no particular struggles, just the effort that it is, on a relationship, the stress that it puts on a relationship, having a little one, and that there's no shame in feeling stressed out and annoyed, frustrated, angry, and there's no shame in clashing with your partner sometimes, because each of you are feeling those stresses alone and then together. And yeah, okay, that's all. I'm gonna leave you now. I'm with you. So much love.